Of course, this match had the spot where all the women do the suplex. Does AEW know how to have a multi-woman tag match without one? Outside of the closing moments, this was incredibly boring. The match was a bit boring, the action in the ring wasn't bad, everybody had their moment to show something, but it wasn't exciting. The end of the match was cool with everyone sharing their spot with a suplex, and Anna Jay having a big moment in tribute to Brody Lee. And guys, that's what it was. It was a tribute to Brody Lee. This whole show, this whole episode had a different tone because it was, in effect, a homecoming for AEW, coming back to Daly's place after being gone for so long, and a tribute to Brody Lee. And so they had a couple of 8-person tag matches. Out of the 2 matches, I like the women one better, which is crazy because it got a lower rating on the cage match. But who cares what these guys think, because they can't even agree whether the suplex spot was good or whether the suplex spot was bad. And why the hell does this confuse people so much? Like, wrestling is stupid, guys. Did you not notice that half the shit that goes on in a wrestling ring is stupid? Like, an 8-person match at its core is dumb. And if you are watching wrestling for as long as I assume you've watched wrestling for, if you're out there critiquing 8 women, young women in a wrestling ring, giving their all to entertain an audience, doing an 8-women tag match, and if they have the audacity to do an 8-person suplex, you're going to call them out for it. I just don't know what the hell you've been doing for so many years watching wrestling if you don't understand the purpose of the 8-person tag match on the card, like what it's supposed to be. There's a lot of different wrestling, and not all of it is meant to be a serious competition. Hell, none of it's really meant to be a serious competition. We're telling stories within a wrestling ring. It's meant to entertain. And that's what an 8-person tag match is. It's meant to entertain. It's pure entertainment. Doesn't matter who the fuck wins. Doesn't matter who loses. It just matters whether you have fun. So when you're sitting there looking at it critically and being like, the 8-person suplex takes me out of the experience, you were never having the experience to begin with. You done fucked up the moment you walked in the door, taking this like a serious competition, placing bets on which side's gonna win and who's gonna get pinned and who's gonna come out on top. It's an 8-person tag match. You're supposed to turn your brain off for 10 fucking minutes and enjoy it, dipshit. I like this 8-man more than the men's on the same show. It was a great exhibition and display of diversity that exists in the women's division. Lots of wrestlers, different ages, experience, and backgrounds. Everybody got a chance to shine. The pacing was great. The crowd was hot for all of it. There were 2 really great parts. First being the 8-woman suplex, which popped everyone. Second, there was a 50-second exchange where each woman hit the other one with some of their better moves. That was all well done, an enjoyable match. And yeah, that is the correct take, and this match should have a much higher rating. I don't review a lot of women's matches on this channel because typically I find that people have like a fucking hatred boner when it comes to women's wrestling. I've even sat with other women wrestling fans who just fucking hate women's wrestling and just can't handle any of it. And so I typically avoid it here because it's a lot of nasty shit that people just cannot fucking tolerate. And that's the thing, guys. The fucking audience loved this match. The live crowd was into it. This is hands down one of the better wrestling matches that women have had on AEW. And maybe that says something, that the goddamn goofy spot fest 8-person tag match is the best, one of the best women's matches in AEW. It should probably be something else, but there's a lot of, another thing that I'm going to admit the elephant in the room. There's a lot of not so great women's matches throughout the history of AEW. That's a given, right? Don't take this as me saying that women's wrestling in AEW is the fucking best it can be. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this is a step in the right direction. These women look like they kick ass in this match. These women look like they're having fun in this match. Nobody gets hurt in this match. What is your fucking problem? No one has more consistently fun matches than Sting and Darby Allen. 36 years ago, Sting was the prototypical babyface. From then until now, he has reinvented himself multiple times to arrive at a fused version of his WCW energy, his TNA promo and character skills, and his AEW legendary gravitas. In 2024, Darby Allen is not the prototypical babyface. He's creating a new prototype. Rather than reinventing himself, I could see Darby's arc as the struggle to stay true to himself amidst outside pressures. That would require integrity, which seems to be the major bonding trait and characteristic shared between the two of them. Another trait they share is their willingness to sacrifice their bodies and risk their futures to entertain their fans. Darby's coffin drop splash to the entranceway that was nearly disastrous as Sting's scorpion death drop off the stage through 2 tables seems like it was disastrous. However, this match also showed a great example of resilience of the team as they kept coming back from every big bump and every intense impact. After the back of Sting's head hit the floor from that great height of the stage, he was miraculously able to rally his body to roll over for the cover and the victory, maintaining his perfect record in AEW. Great TV match here, a real pleasure and quite a spectacle as well. Hobbs and Takeshita made a great team and really threw Darby Allen to the rafters, once almost literally. Sting continues to impress on his last run. His AEW run in general has been so much better than anyone could have hoped for, and I can't agree more with these guys. This is another phenomenal Sting and Darby match, and we get kind of a mini rematch here of Darby and Takeshita, which is just nuts. We have more rolling suplexes on the floor. Holy shit. And this spot with Hobbs and Takeshita, where they grab Darby by his fucking hands and feet and just throw him across the ring. His goddamn head hits the ropes. I mean, Darby is superhuman at this point. The lack of care Darby has with his body and that other people have with his body, you would think it would kill other people. But Darby says he feels great. He assures us that he is thriving with this amount of punishment that he takes. And holy shit, his fucking dive from the top of Daly's place. It just... other people take dives in AEW and it looks dangerous, but somehow everything Darby does it just fills you with dread that this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the time that Darby dies, and thank God these guys catch him and he's okay. And same with Sting. Oh my God, the fucking bump he takes during this match. It's a good thing Sting's retiring, guys. I honestly don't know how much luck Sting has left, so just thank God he's gonna retire. The kind of shit that he's gonna do at Revolution is, I don't know what he's gonna do for his last spot, guys. He's gonna do something fucking nuts. I hope he doesn't die in the ring. A spot fest like this is like really hard for me to rate because it is basically just that. It is a lot of spots. There's really not a lot of storytelling going on here until the end, until like the Young Bucks come out. That's kind of the story, but it's not really connected to the match. I'm just going to give this thing a 4, but just know that if I was there live for this, it literally would have changed my life. Like, I wouldn't be the same person anymore if I had watched this live. Years would have been taken off of my life for the terror I would have felt to be in that arena, that I would have watched either Sting or Darby die in front of me. So take that 4-star rating with a huge grain of salt, because I'm not forgetting this thing. Like a lot of these matches that they do, we're going to look back on after this whole thing is over with Sting, and hopefully fondly. And remember that this man was a fucking legend. And he went out on his own terms, and he did the shit he wanted to do. And I think it's really going to transfer over to Darby. I think that when we see Darby going forward, like all this goodwill, all of this energy that Sting accumulated during his last run will hopefully just be transferred on to Darby, and then he can carry on, hopefully for just as long as Sting. I mean, watching him take these fucking bumps is rough, But that's the kind of wrestler that he is. And I've seen people criticize it. Like, and if you're criticizing his fucking spots before this, then this match is going to really make you clutch your pearls. And I think Darby's gone on record and said that his run, it's not going to be long, but you're going to remember it. And, if that's what you're going for, then, more power to him. And one good thing to keep in mind, too, when we're getting all fucking like, Darby should really take better care of himself and all that kind of shit. Guys, Darby would be doing this in his backyard. Darby would be doing this with no one around. So it's not like Tony Khan pays him money and tells him to do this shit. Darby would do this regardless. He's a jackass, right? This is what he does, whether there's thousands of people watching or like no people watching. So I think it's good that we are appreciating it. We get to appreciate it and be entertained by it. It's coming from a place of authenticity. I think that, I guess what we want to say to Darby with all this sentiment is that whenever you're ready to stop this, Darby, and just be a regular, extremely talented wrestler that you are, we hope that your body is in a good enough shape that you can have that second half of your career or that portion of your career where perhaps you don't try to murder yourself every time you go out. But I, for one, will enjoy watching whatever Darby does because I can appreciate the man's desire to do it. All right, everybody, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of AEW Dynamite as well. Let me know what you thought about this down in the comments below. Of course, the best thing you can do for this channel is to watch another video. So some videos are going to come up as soon as we roll the credits. So make sure you do that. Speaking of those credits, that's everybody there on Patreon for just $1 a month. It really actually does help support the channel. So if you haven't done so, consider clicking that link down below as well for the Patreon channel. Sometimes I get issues with copyright and I like to put that stuff over on Patreon. Thankfully, I haven't had those issues recently, but you never know when it comes up. And some of the songs that I play on my end credits, I like to upload those to Patreon as well. If people request me to do things like that, I do that there. And sometimes we have some giveaways and stuff as well. I want to do more of that stuff going forward. I've just been working my ass off trying to make better videos and put out better content, and having a large Patreon following really helps me do that because I don't have to worry about ad revenue, which if you look at the views on this video, it's probably under 1,000, which means I basically didn't get paid to do this, which is fine. I'm doing this out of love. I fucking love AEW and I love this channel and I love you for watching this far. So thank you so much. You've already liked and subscribed. You probably already rang the fucking bell. So yeah, just check out another video because that tells the algorithm that you like this channel, and then when I make a video, it'll show it to you instead of just fucking bury it, which is what it has been doing for most people, is what I have to assume, because I have thousands of subscribers, but only hundreds of views, and I can't just imagine that y'all just fucking despise me that much. I don't know, I'm just not that much of a masochist to go around thinking that all the time. All right, I've said way too much in this outro. Keep digging.
Stop what you're doing, baby, and follow Mr. Hargrave from parts unknown, if you will, baby.
I've seen the demon's face.
Mark joined one half of private party, say what up to the grave diggers, and keep doing your thing.
On my knees in praise of the horrible things that took her away.
Watch another video or be cursed.